the cookie theory no longer makes sense. The fact of the matter is he was there to pay for the parking lot for the turkey drive to give away to the people. He had the bag on him. He had the money on him. He wasn't there to pick up cookies that day. This is their cover-up and their easy way of explaining the situation because they set him up. They knew he was coming. There was no pre-phone call. The pre-phone call was the plans to come pay for the parking lot.
This is what made Yogotti wish that this never happened to Big Jook. The dudes that did this to Big Jook, they walked up on him, hopped right out the car. The dude who had on a black hood, who kept on reaching his arm in his hoodie pocket, that's the dude that was the main one. That was the main shooter. I want everybody to know this is going to lead everybody to really looking at it as if, was that a setup? Who could set Big Jook up if Big Jook already saying the day before, literally the day before, he said that you can't trust your own family, they snakes, and then he get hit up. Like, regardless of how they look at it, R.I.P. Youngdolph, regardless of what's going on.
At the end of the day, it's just really senseless acts of violence that we're allowing to continue in our communities.
And this is what led the investigators to look into the fact that it only take 15 minutes for fresh out the oven cookies, when Youngdolph, he would have called them and gave them a heads up that he'll be on his way in 20 minutes, 15 minutes, because as soon as they come out, he want them fresh.
And that's absolutely realistic. But in this particular instance, the set was already placed. He was supposed to meet the person there to pay for the parking lot. He wasn't there to pick up no cookies. They want to throw out a brand or flavor that he barely buy, except for when he was buying for his mama. But he wasn't going to see his mama. None of these things were in the plans. He was there to give away the turkeys.
But what was the bag of money for? Who was he finna pay that much money to in that area or at the cookie shop?
2 Makitas. He was paying at 2 Makitas to rent the parking lot.
Why did Big Jook, which is Yogotti, his brother, why was he even there across the street when everything was going down? He was standing right there.
There was too many people at play at this particular moment, and who's to say any particular person, but one would suspect that it was a setup from the very beginning and that they were all playing a part in it.
Big Jook was in that parking lot, and the dudes that did that to Big Jook, ain't no telling if that was somebody cool who was hanging with the PRE, or was that somebody in the city who was just hating on Big Jook? So was it, we're going to be logical about this now. Was it just a coincidence that, okay, Big Jook was in the city right after Bovan's funeral, and then he go to the shopping mall right over there by the plaza? Everybody know, once he went in there repass and then came out, they got him in a bulletproof truck. And this is what the examiners are saying. The bullets did not go through the truck. They got him outside of the car. This is why he was laying on the side, right there by the fender.
You can only speculate what Big Jook's mind frame was, because just prior to incident, he's posting online about watching your bag. The very people that you are cool with are the snakes in the grass, more or less. He could only have a mindset of, I'm going to die the day God calls me home, because you're moving without security. You're moving without a sense of direction. You're moving carelessly, but yet saying, I know there's a price on my back.
Everybody knew that the reason why Yogotti didn't speak out quick enough, Yogotti, he don't want to involve himself in none of that stuff that they got going on, because he already told everybody he don't care about what Youngdolph did to his girl. This is why he said he don't want to speak on this. But he said he actually was cool with Holmes. And if a lot of people go back, you can see it in the Breakfast Club interview. He said he was cool with Youngdolph. Youngdolph said this or did this, and that's what made everything break down. But this is what Yogotti said. So Yogotti lying?
I mean, kind of back to my brother's keeper. We say things and we do things and we move differently. Our words don't line up with our walk. You can say anything to sell a sale. I go to an interview of a job I really want, I'm going to be the best candidate. I'm not saying he's lying. I'm not. It's his perception of his situation. But the storyline leads a different detail. And at the end of the day, when Youngdolph threw back a $22 million contract, I think that was the biggest insult to the entire situation that put everything into motion.
That's because Yogotti didn't even get offered the 22 million. And that's why Yogotti, he looked at Youngdolph once, he said, he don't mess with Yogotti, but he mess with Jigga, and he'll pay him $2 million for a feature. Like, this is why Yogotti looking back like, okay, he want to distance himself from everybody who was in that lane. Like, a lot of people don't know the history of Yogotti and Youngdolph. It was a lot of people, 3-6 Mafia. They said that this is one thing that led Memphis. They always stuck together. They always helped each other. But this is what led them to basically having a war and beef that's going on right now. So the feds is getting involved in this regardless of how they look at it.
I mean, if I was Yogotti, I'd definitely be changing lanes, because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. And if I'm Angela Simmons, I'm in my man's ear. What are we doing? Why are we still in this specific situation instead of removing ourselves from it?
Keosha James said that Yogotti, if he come back to Memphis, he gonna have to hide out. He gonna have to stay downtown Memphis, or he gonna have to be somewhere where nobody knows his location, because they gonna be on him immediately. Do you know the stuff that spurred up after this stuff happened to Youngdolph? Memphis started going into a whole, like, you couldn't even go to certain stores or gas stations. It was shooting every single way you go. Literally, Orange Mound. People already know how they do in Hickory Hill. This is something that everybody knew for a fact that PRE, they didn't want to get themselves even out there. They didn't want their name out there for that. They want their name out there for being the rappers, not the street dudes.
We want to make boss moves, but have leadership followings. They're two different things, folks. You're a boss, you tell people what to do, and you don't care, but you demand the respect. When you're a leader, you're down in the pits with your crew. And that was Youngdolph every day in his community. He didn't need to demand the respect, it was given. Yogotti definitely has to watch his back in Memphis. The pot's only stirring thicker, and it's a matter of time.
It's over with for them. This is why they need to really stay focused and really look at the main people who was affected by this. Youngdolph kids, they were affected by this. Mia J, she was affected by this. Key Glock, he was affected by this. Keosha James, Makita Raven, Maurice Hill, Marcus Thorne. These people traumatized behind this. These are people that Youngdolph actually loved, and he did anything out his way just to please them and make them happy.
Youngdolph was definitely the definition of a leader, a father, a husband, a son. He was a man who actually took that role wholeheartedly. You see it in his actions. He didn't talk about it. He made the moves, and he participated in a way that left an impact on a community and the world that nobody can replace. And Mia, you know she's still mourning.
It's gonna really hurt people when they find out that Angela Simmons, she fell back from all this madness that's going on. People gonna really see once Keosha James and all of them have to take that stand for all the witnesses and all the people who was actually right there, because the DA, they're gonna actually have to subpoena these people. These are potential witnesses that could crack the whole case open.
Yeah, and the only one they really can't come after right now is Angela Simmons, because of the, shall you say, partner law. You can't force your spouse or your significant other to speak against the other person. That might force them into marriage to just have that protection. When are we going to wake up and realize that this is not a way of life and that we're literally destroying ourselves?
Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Let me know if you're a fan of Youngdolph. Let me know where you from. Let me know what city y'all from.